the baseless accusation against so-called traitors daw for explaining the entire picture is reminiscent of the buildup of the neo-Nazis in Ukraine and the anti-Indonesian Chinese in 1964-65 that resulted in a pogrom against Indonesian Chinese with 500,000 murdered by rampaging, as Romualdez explained, no? What is his term? Rampaging mobs or something like that. So, delikado talaga yung ginawa ni Tariela. And I don't think he understands it.
Let me just give you another historical context from our culture, no? Alam mo tayong mga Pilipino, madali talaga tayong mabuyo ng puti. During the Spanish colonization, you know, the Chinese were already here, no? Even Chinese colonization, we were living with them in this country. Now, the Spaniards were threatened by the Chinese. Ang dami nila eh. Saka magagaling talaga sila sa negosyo eh, no? That was the ano. So the Spaniards spread an intrigue among other inhabitants. Those are the Tagalogs, no? Naku, ang China sasakupin itong ano. May balak sakupin itong Manila. Invasion. Narinig yan, di ba? Invasion. So what happened? You know, the Spaniards, with the help of the native Tagalogs, massacred 20,000 Chinese. That was in 1600. And this was not the first instance, no? It also happened, I think, in Pampanga and something else. So we really have a history, no? As a people, na madali tayong mabuyo ng mga puti, no? Lalo na pag ang kalaban natin ay fellow Asians.
May time tayo for a few questions kasi lampas 12 o'clock na. Welcome for a few questions. Please, short questions lang for our panelists here to answer. May unang tanong dito, sandali lang, may message ang mga media dito ang questions. One of the questions, paano pa nag-umpisa itong Ayungin Shoal? May tanong dito, what provoke or led China to react, ito sa isang media, no? What provoke or led China to react in the Ayungin Shoal like spraying water cannon against the Philippine Coast Guard? What provoke or led China daw? Kasi di ba 30-40 years stable naman ang situation in general, sabi ni Councilor Minister kanina.
Because there is some sort of an agreement, no? This is like a modus vivendi about the Ayungin Shoal, na po pwede ang mga humanitarian supply. But construction, hindi po pwede. Yan ang ano nila, no? Pero I will just give you a background on the Ayungin Shoal. And this is what you need to understand about the Chinese, no? About Chinese foreign policy. I studied Chinese international relations in the United States, actually, at UCLA. This is how they think. They never forget their history. Everything for them has a significant meaning. And that meaning gets carried over. Okay? If you are their friend, you will be their friend forever. Look at Kissinger. Look at Lee Kuan Yew. Even Lee Kuan Yew criticizes China, ha? Nung nabubuhay pa siya. But he's very respected still in China, even Kissinger. So the story of the Ayungin Shoal, it was a retaliation of the Philippines to the Chinese reclamation. Not reclamation. Reclamation na ba yung nangyari noong 1994? Or occupation and building of more than stilts sa Mischief Reef, no? There was maybe some misunderstanding there, you know, from the Philippine side that there was deliberate deception from the Chinese na sabi nyo, ano lang yan, stilts lang yan na for fishermen, bakit ganyan na? So, that was 1995, 1994. So, ang retaliation natin in 1999. In June 1999. Now, among all the features in the Spratlys, the Ayungin Shoal has a huge emotional significance to the history of the Chinese, especially to their diplomatic community. Why? Because in May 1999, during the Kosovo War, the NATO bombed the Chinese embassy in Belgrade. Well, the United States, no? Sabi ng United States is an accent, okay. So, they were, ang gulo na sa China ng panahon na to. There was a huge protest all over the world about what happened. All the Chinese suddenly rose up, no? In order to avenge what happened. So, several of their diplomats died. In, tato daw, 3 diplomats. So we occupied Ayungin Shoal during the time that they were mourning. Hindi naman same day. June tayo nag-occupy. It's within the period that we're mourning. So May 9 nangyari yung bombing. Pero we occupied it in June ata or late May. Late May or something like that. So we occupied it during the time of their weakness. They were mourning. They were devastated. They do not know how to react to the bombing of their embassy. I'm pretty sure the military of China would like to go to war already against the United States. So imagine the work of the diplomats during that time. The Ayungin Shoal is being occupied. Their military might want to have a war against China. So whenever they see the Ayungin Shoal, no, they get reminded of this incident. And this is something that you have to understand when dealing with a civilization state. Because China is not just an ordinary nation state. It is a civilization state. It has a memory longer than the memory of every one of us combined.
Again, maraming napakaraming mga legal angles na pwedeng pag-usapan. But as the counselor earlier said, that the CM of the embassy explained, the modern basis, kasi may historical basis of hundreds of years, the modern basis for these claims today of China is the Potsdam Declaration of 1943, o Cairo Declaration of 1943, and Potsdam Declaration of 1945. These are international declarations. Kasama po ang 5 powers ng United Nations yan. And the 3 powers, of course, the Allied powers. So, yan kahaba po, kalayo po ang basis po yan. The Philippine claim to Ayungin is not even in the Treaty of Paris of 1899, 1898. No? So, modern po ang claims natin after the UNCLOS ratification. That was 1993, 92. But anyway, yeah, 1992. So ganyan po ang chronology ng mga events. Now, China's 9-dash line is not a fixed line. It is a very flexible line. Because from my interpretation and some other analyst interpretation, scholars, it is just a principle, a matter of principle of claiming, so that in the negotiating tables, everybody's included, including China. Now, the Second Thomas Shoal became controversial for the Philippines and China in 1999 because of the grounding of the vessel. But clearly, there is some verbal agreement during the time of President Estrada. Now, it's not written. There were some discussions also during the time of Gloria Arroyo. But there are documents where you can extract an admission that there was an arrangement, which Bobby Tiglao already presented today. There are documents where it is implied that we had agreed, because we also moved another grounded vessel in the same vicinity. But these are for interpretation. The point of China is, let us meet halfway. China successfully resolved 12 out of 15 territorial disputes. China is a country with the most number of bordering states. And they resolved some of the biggest, including with Russia, that involves almost 1 million square kilometers in favor of Russia. Marami pong na-resolve with Vietnam po. Of course, the Tonkin Bay Cooperation Agreement and so on. I forget the technical name. So that is why China paulit-ulit ang sinasabi, let us meet halfway. But these war hawks, na sila American boys are keep repeating that there is no compromise here. There is no compromise. So ano ba ang totoong gusto ng taong bayan? The interpretation of the Okta survey, of course, requires a bit more minute examination. But I think the general sentiment is still correct. The Filipinos don't want war. I think that's very much more clearly reflected in the reaction of the Pag-asa fishermen. So much more to say, but we have limited time.
Thank you very
Okay.
Thank you to Herman
Okay.
Coronel.
Let me read a comment from the audience, no? Para mayroon din tayong interaction. Kasi
Marami pang tulong dito.
may Zoom tayo, maraming tao sa Zoom. So may nag-comment at syempre gusto kong basahin din.
Yeah.
Ang sabi dito ng isang, actually expert also in international law, but a Chinese expert in international law. Ang sabi niya, please
What
help
is her
read my
name?
comment. Dr. Yan. I think China and the Philippines should resume the Coast Guard Joint Committee established since 2016. Better for the two law enforcement agency to talk directly. Also, I sincerely wish the two sides could deal with the dispute under the BCM. The BCM is the bilateral consultation mechanism. It is urgent to start another conference this year. So this is a Chinese intellectual, or actually
This is
Dr.
Paul
Yan
Dimagan.
is also an
Yeah.
expert in international law. On the other hand, pagdating naman sa Ayungin Shoal, aside from the fact na sinabi nga ni Sas na medyo emotional nga ang China pag nababanggit yan, dahil nga, yun nga, yung time na yun, within that time frame, nabomba ang Chinese embassy sa Yugoslavia during that time. And the one who bombed it is the United States. There were 3 diplomats died, pero ang China that time was not yet a giant, was not yet economically affluent. At the same time, hindi pa malakas ang military nila. So what happened to them is they swallowed their pride. And they, ang hirap nun kung titignan mo sa bansa na sobrang laki. Ang tama si Sas, it's not a nation state per se. Huwag nating titignan ang China na ganun lang. It's a big nation, it's a civilizational state. So iba meron silang history for 5,000 years na kung saan nakaangkla yon kung paano din sila nagbe-behave. So we have to understand China as a civilizational state para din maintindihan natin how we can deal with China. Hindi yung tipong sugod lang tayo ng sugod, hindi naman natin naiintindihan kung sino ang ating kausap at yung kabilang partido. Kasi kailangan mong, if you really want to negotiate and if you really want to have a good deal, you have to understand the other side. At kung anong interest nila, anong position nila, and the sensitivities para mag-meet halfway kayo. Hindi pwede yung halagera na lang. Ito lang amin. Hindi na pwedeng mabago ang posisyon namin. Wala hong mangyayari sa Pilipinas. At the end of the day, if you really look at realities at the moment and the asymmetries between China and the Philippines in every aspect, may it be geography, may it be political influence in the world, not only in Asia, may it be economy, may it be in size, may it be in population, may it be geography. Malaki ang asymmetry, malaki sila, maliit tayo. And we could not rely on the United States to what? To fight for us over what? Over fish and over what? A shoal na hindi nakikita kapag high tide, only low tide? Come on, give me a break. Do you really think the Americans are that stupid? Come on. Yun pa, baka. But on the other hand, just to mention, kasi ang tanong kanina kung ano yung claim ng China on this, I will just read my statement para lang maklaro at hindi ako magkamali. As far as the Chinese are concerned, their claim in the South China Sea is not necessarily only based dun sa sinasabing nine-dash line. There's such a thing as historical rights. Yun ang kanilang basihan ng kanilang claim. May basihan tayo sa ating kasi sovereign rights easy on clause, sa kanila historical rights. Most recently, during the second Sino or Chinese-Japanese War that coincided with the World War II, Japan invaded the whole of the South China Sea, including Hainan. Hainan is actually a province of China. And even until it's part of the mainland, Paracel and Spratly and the Pratas Islands. After Second World War, Japan formally surrendered the islands to the Republic of China, ROC. And that was, actually right now, ROC is what you call Taiwan, Kasi part yan ng China ang Taiwan eh. And until now, on one China policy. So, under the Treaty of Taipei, PORC defeated ROC in the Chinese Civil War. May civil war na-defeat ang ROC, which is Taiwan at the moment, no? So, kaya sila nandun, kaya nga nagkakaroon ka ng conflict, may internal problem sila on that When the United Nations recognized the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, as the only legitimate government of China under its One China policy, PROC became the successor in interest of the Republic of China under international law, specifically the UN Charter. As Taiwan became a province of China, China has always regarded the South China Sea as an archipelago. Magaling si Sas dito, may explain niya yan ng mabuti. Or a single unit. Under customary international law, the requirements for sovereignty are actual occupation, effective administration and control, and if necessary, defense of its possession. PROC is effectively enforcing its de jure and de facto possession of the archipelago. De jure sovereignty refers to the legal right to own the territory. De facto sovereignty refers to the factual ability to do so. Credit to Kaado, kasi si Kaado ito, siya yung author nito, siya yung nagsulat nito. On the other hand, kung titignan mo, ang claim ng China sa Ayungin Shoal and even some parts of the South China Sea is based, may claim sila na sovereignty at territorial nila yan. Ang claim natin is sovereign rights. We really have to understand that these two concepts are not the same. Kanina pa ine-explain ni Sas yan. Ang hirap lang kasi sa media and even doon sa survey, kung titignan mo, ang nakalagay sa survey, territorial rights. There's no such thing as territorial rights, sovereign rights. Kahit sa survey lang, ang phrasing ng survey is even already, erroneous na siya So alam mo yun yung mga sinasabi ko na we need to broaden our mind at probably study further the issue. Kasi kapag puro brabado lang tayo at sugod lang tayo ng sugod, it's very saddening to see na mauwi tayo sa gera over certain things na hindi naman pinag-aralan ng mabuti at puro brabado lang at emotion ang ginamit. Kasi if we deal with countries abroad or internationally, I think we need to be rational actor. Ini-emphasize na yan kanina. We need to be rational and we need to think like businessmen too, no? Saan ba ano ba ang best position ng Pilipinas? Makipag-gitgitan ka dyan or you strike a deal that you benefit instead of you end up in a precarious situation. So mas ganun siguro mag-isip tayo dapat bilang mga Pilipino. Huwag yung sugod lang sugod, tas wala ka naman palang bala at the end of the day. Baka mauwi tayo nito sa gera. So ayaw natin noon. Siguro, kaya nga nakakasad lang, no? Yung mga taong tulad sa amin na we're trying to explain the situation, we're trying to educate the public, at ayaw namin ng gera kasi wala namang panalo sa gera, lahat naman talo, nababansagan pang traitor at intellectually stupid. My God, for God's sake, give me a break. Okay? Thank you.
Intellectually brilliant sila. Short questions, short answers kasi it's almost 1 o'clock. May lunch tayo. Si Miss Lorraine, former Undersecretary Lorraine Marie Badoy, may tanong nasa Facebook Live, watching us via Facebook Live. Former Undersecretary Lorraine Marie T. Badoy. Question for SAS. What are the implications, if any, are there for the reckless statement made by the PCG via their spokesperson, Commodore J. Tariela? Question for Ms. SAS. Let's follow up. Yes.
Alam nyo, this is the problem with Philippine government. Our government is like the American government. Kanya-kanyang lakad, yung mga nasa ilalim ng presidente, kanya-kanyang statement, etc. Kasi, let me just give you a background, no? I actually asked this to, kay former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Kasi remember, during the time of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, there was a joint seismic mutual undertaking, JSMU, with China and Vietnam in their disputed area. So I asked, Madam President, sabi ko, Madam President, Wala bang debate to na nangyari sa gobyerno ninyo because we have a territorial dispute? Sabi niya, at the cabinet level, wala kaming debate. May debate sa bureaucratic level. And even in the United States at that time, ang debate is sa bureaucratic level. So they have their own interest, no? They're pursuing their own interest. Kasi the higher you are in the decision-making body, the more rational that you will become. Well, I assume no all governments, pero definitely kay GMA at least, no? So sabi nga, that was the suggestion daw kasi ni Speaker Jose de Venecia. Is Speaker Jose de Venecia? He's still alive, no? Alam mo yung si Speaker Jose de Venecia, 1970s pa yan, nag-a-advocate na yan ng joint development. Si Speaker Jose de Venecia, alam niya yung conflict na to at alam niya yung solution. So yun. So tinanong ko si Madam President. Sabi ko, Madam President, how about the United States? Did you talk to Bush about it? So sabi niya, yes, I did. I told the president, your officials are against my joint seismic mutual understanding with Vietnam and China. Ang sagot daw ni Bush sa kanya, they are against a research. So na iba yung nag-work dito. So yung pagdating kay Tariela, ako even naman noong panahon ni PRRD may mga ganyang lumilihis ng landas, no. Pero yun na nga na from China's side, kasi China will not hear you if you don't have an imprimatur from the highest decision making. Ikaw lang siguro, so hindi ka na lang papapasukin ng Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Do you remember that time na hindi pinapasok ng Hong Kong si former Secretary De Rosario? So that, si Carpio ba yan? So yun. So yun lang yun. It doesn't really have a gravity sa kanila kasi it's not a statement by the president. That's why, we have to credit Bongbong Marcos for being very level-headed on this issue.
Yeah, this is just 30 seconds, no?
Yes.
I am reminded now because it was part of my preparation, but I did not mention it. The baseless accusation against so-called traitors daw for explaining the entire picture is reminiscent of the buildup of the neo-Nazis in Ukraine and the anti-Indonesian Chinese in 1964-65 that resulted in a pogrom against Indonesian Chinese with 500,000 murdered by rampaging, as Romualdez explained, no? What is his term? Rampaging mobs or something like that. So, delikado talaga yung ginawa ni Tariela. And I don't think he understands it.
Hindi. Let me just give you another historical context from our culture, no? Alam mo tayong mga Pilipino, madali talaga tayong mabuyo ng puti. During the Spanish colonization, the Chinese were already here, no? Even Chinese colonization, we were living with them in this country. Now, the Spaniards were threatened by the Chinese. Ang dami nila eh. Saka magagaling talaga sila sa negosyo eh, no? That was the So the Spaniards spread an intrigue among other inhabitants. Those are the Tagalogs, no? Naku, ang China sasakupin itong may balak sakupin itong Manila. Invasion. Narinig yan, di ba? Invasion. So what happened? The Spaniards, with the help of the native Tagalogs, massacred 20,000 Chinese. That was in 1600, and this was not the first instance, no? It also happened, I think, in Pampanga and something else. So we really have a history, no? As a people, na madali tayong mabuyo ng mga puti, no? Lalo na pag ang kalaban natin ay fellow Asians. Nagigets nyo? So dapat tayo, have we ever been angry with Europeans? Siguro panahon ni PRRD, parang ito si Lorraine Badoy, no? Tinawag pa nga silang pido. Di ba? Siguro panahon ni PRRD, pero historically, we were never angry with any white no matter how they rate us, no? Meron tayong Stockholm Syndrome. We really want to keep on the people who abused us. And we're happy doing that. So, yun lang.
Thank you very much. Question.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
Madam.
yes. Ms. Lorraine Batang.
Anyone, given the gravity of what Commodore Tariela said via the Philippine Coast Guard, no, given what the gravity of what the Coast Guard said, because he's the spokesperson of the Coast Guard, is it possible that he issued that statement with the okay of the president? No? So therefore, how important is it for the president to distance himself from this statement, to make a very clear stand? How important is it?
PRRD did that during his time kasi ang dami nagsasalita, no? So PRRD ordered, walang magsasalita about this. Si Harry Roque lang.
So
So,
stable. no?
so you centralize the discourse kasi you are the, if you are a government official, you are the principal agent problem. You are the agent of the republic. So you represent the republic, no? Not just the present emotions, but the future generations. Do not plant the seeds of the destruction of this country. It's very important for the president to actually discipline his people. Because this is his subordinate. Just like Ambassador Babe Romualdez. Kasi alam mo, Ma'am Lorraine, no, what they're doing with the president is they're strangling the president and pushing him into a corner to actually pursue the course of action that they want. Nakausap ko na to si Bongbong Marcos before, no? Personal, etc. Hindi naman siya tanga. He's a very rational guy. In fact, he's intelligent. Kaya kung sinuportahan nito, no? Hello naman, Lorraine, lalo ka na. Alam mo, galit na galit ka sa mga Marcos. Halos isumpa mo na nga yung pamilyang yan. But you still supported him.
At saka hindi siya quarrelsome.
Hindi siya quarrelsome. Alam niya yan. Pero pinupush siya sa corner eh. And they found out, these people found out that the social media base of Bongbong Marcos are not that so bright, no? So, exactly.
Yes, yes,
But so he
yes,
has to
yes.
discipline them.
May pahabol pa na tanong, sorry.
Wait, let me contribute to the discussion.
Yes.
The president is the head of state of this country, okay? I don't have anything against the president, pero ang kanyang mga subordinates na kung saan inuunahan siya magsalita has to a little bit pay respect to the president. Kung hindi pa nagsasalita ang presidente mo, huwag ka munang maingay kasi inuunahan mo yung presidente mo. Ngayon, nagiging na-hijack ang presidente mo na-hostage na siya Kasi malay mo hindi gano'n ang kanyang gusto or malay mo hindi rin katulad ang statement niya sa statement ng PCG spokesperson na yan. Malay mo he wants to have middle ground. Malay mo he wants to communicate with President Xi Jinping and say, okay, President Xi Jinping, let's talk. Let's see how we can resolve this. Paano kung ganon? Pero hindi ka na makapagsalita kasi nauna na yung mga subordinate mo. Now, the president, I know that he is not a confrontational person. You can see it. Hindi naman siya yung palaaway. Pero ang lang natin is, he needs to be strong at this time. Because the country is already in a critical position. Kapag hindi siya naging strong at sabihin niya sa mga tao niya na, sandali lang, hintayin niyo ako before kayo bumuga at kumoda. Kasi may implication yan sa international relation ng bansa natin, not just with China, but with the rest of Asian countries. Hindi nyo ba naintindihan na even Malaysian Prime Minister, anong sabi? We have a very strong strategic relationship with China. And that Prime Minister, kailan niya sinabi yun? Lately lang. So anong ibig sabihin nun? In a matter of time, the Philippines will be isolated even its own sub-region, which is Southeast Asia and ASEAN. Ayaw naman natin sigurong ma-isolate ang Pilipinas. That is not to our advantage. So yun nga sinasabi ko, the President has to have the political will and to be strong enough to state the position really of the Philippines na hindi na uunahan ng kanyang subordinates tulad ni Babes at tulad nitong si Ewan.
Thank you. Thank
So
you. It's almost 1 o'clock.
I flashed it a
questions.
while ago, but I'll flash it again.
Questions.
Nakikita po natin, Rappler, funded by the National Endowment for Democracy, pinapagalitan si Presidente matapos niya sabihin nga gray area yan, meaning acknowledgement na pwedeng pag-usapan yan. Pero Rappler, pinapagalitan ang Presidente ng Republika ng Pilipinas matapos ganyan din ang ginawa ni Justice Carpio on the very same issue.
Thank you. Sorry, 1 o'clock already. There's a question here from Abante newspaper. Last, kasi short answer lang please. Ms. Chair, Balagtas Almadin of Abante newspaper. Please comment, short lang na comment please, about Manila Bay reclamation controversy, all duly approved by the Duterte administration. Tapos pinasuspend lahat. What are your comments? Just because nag-complain lang ang US Embassy. What is your comment about it? It's already
Anong comment ko dyan? Welcome back, colonialism. Di ba? This is colonial era dynamics of the Philippines. Let's not kid ourselves. We are back in colonial times. We are just being given, the ability to live our lives according to how we want privately. But in terms of our external relations, wala na yan. Our external relations is guided by the United States na.
Thank you very much. It's already 1 o'clock. Kaya dapat short lang. Kasi gutom na daw. Media.
A lot has been said. I will not add on anything to it. But one person is not being mentioned here, and I will not give him he will not get scot-free. The spokesman of the National Security Advisor, Jonathan Malaya, said that the agreement about the BRP Sierra Madre is a fiction. Jonathan, you did not read the arbitral ruling. The arbitral ruling is not acceptable to me. But in the arbitration, this issue was discussed exhaustively and a lot of documents were submitted. Sa inyo mga nanonood na naghahanap ng dokumento, basahin nyo lang ang 2016 arbitral ruling. Whether you believe it or not is a separate issue. All I'm saying is all the documentation required about this agreement na pinalalabas nyo pa nagsisinungaling ang China is in the arbitration itself. Properly documented, registered in the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. At kayo ang gumagamit niyan, hindi kami. So gumagamit kayo ng dokumento, pero nag-cherry picking kayo. Kung ano yung pabor sa Amerikano, okay sa inyo. Pag sinabi na arbitral ruling, walang 9 dash line para magka 200 exclusive economic zone tayo, tanggap naman kayo. Pero in paragraph 574, sinasabi rin ng the same arbitral ruling that the Philippines could not claim the Kalayaan Island Group as an archipelago. Ano? Mawawalan tayo ng 230 square kilometers ng claim territory dahil lang sa matataba niyong mga bulsa, mga bayaran kayo. Tigilan niyo lang ang korupsyon! Ano na nangyari sa post-economic recovery agenda ni Bobo Marcos? Yan ang asikasuhin nyo. Do not divert our attention to a war that only the United States won. Period.
Thank you very much, Adolf Paglinawan. There's another question here. Sorry, maraming questions. What is the possible solution or resolution to this dispute? 3 journalists asking. What is the possible solution or resolution to this dispute now?
Joint development. Joint development. My God,
The
Diyos por
smart way.
santo, this is not the only maritime problem in the world, in the history of the world. Diyos ko, nag-joint development because it doesn't make any sense to kill each other. My God! Salbaw sa fisheries. Do you actually know that Filipino fishermen, I think in General Santos, actually fish in the EEZ o Papua New Guinea? Ano yung agreement? Capitalist, no? Okay, gusto naming mangisda dyan. Pero what did Papua New Guinea say? Pero sa amin ang processing. Kasi nasa processing ang more value, di ba? Sa amin ang packaging. So, ang ginawa ng Papua New Guinea, they would like to capture a lot of the steps in the value chain. Because when you do that, mas malaki yung kikitain mo. Kasi, yung isda, katulad yan ng palay. Ang kita dyan, hindi sa paghuhuli, hindi sa nasa processing, nasa end product and other produce. Diyos ko, dahil ang isda, ano ba to, nabibila sa to after 2 days, can you imagine? But no. But you can turn it into sardinas. The problem of our fisherman is not China. The problem of our fisherman is the lack of industrialization in our fishing industry. Punyeta, we are a very old fishing nation, no? Hanggang ngayon, Diyos ko, yung mga mangingisda natin ang mahihirap. Tapos pinagmamalaki nila, the EEC will cost the fisherman, magkanong billion on fish daw? 200 something billion US dollars. Bakla, kung ganyan lang pala talaga kita diyan sa China Sea, di ang mga milyonaryo sa atin, yung mga mangingisda. Bilyonaryo. It doesn't make any sense. You would like to industrialize your fishing industry. Vietnam and China have a very industrialized fishing industries. You partner with them. Anong gagawin mo? We provide labor. We provide these steps in the value chain. Ngayon, kung yumaman ka na, think like a capitalist. Buy back the equity of these nations. Pero dahil utak, NPA ka. Hindi. Gusto namin lahat. Pag hindi namin nakuha ang lahat, mag-uwelga kami. Diba that's what a diplomatic protest is? That is just a social welga. No. And then, what the NPA does, na ultak pulbura, is now what the AFP wants. Girahin. The same logic. Think like a capitalist.
Thank you. Brilliant. Actually,
Mamaya.
brilliant.
Ang reclamation project, may comment lang ako dyan.
Yes.
First and foremost, ang unang-una, just to clarify the facts, even Senator Gatchalian, I think, would be able to ascertain this. Lahat ata ng procedures dyan at mga permits na accomplish. Pero nagreklamo kasi ang US Embassy sa reclamation project at sinasite nila ang Chinese company, corporation na involved is nandun daw at blacklisted sa kanila. Ganito lang naman yun kasimple. Okay, fine. May problema kayo dun sa Chinese company. Problema nyo yun. That's United States. But this is not United States. This is Pilipinas. Hindi natin kailangan sundin kung anong ginagawa ng US. Kasi Pilipinas naman po tayo. Now, kung ang sinasabi, lahat naman na comply, good. Pero take note, ang reclamation project na yan, actually, ang plano dyan is magkakaroon yan ng pag natapos yan, supposedly, 100,000 jobs ang makikreate niyan. At saka, mayroon kang revenue, at saka may taxes ka na makukolect dyan. Kaso nga, sabi ng US Embassy, kasama kasi dyan ng Chinese corporation So, hindi dapat matuloy. So, out of the blue, hindi na siya natuloy at suspended na siya. Now, what is the lesson here? We should remember that the Philippines is not a colony anymore of the United States. We are an independent state. We can make our own decision and we can determine our future kasi hindi naman po tayo mga mangmang. Ang Pilipino po, karamihan ay matalino. Alam natin kung anong nakakabuti sa Pilipinas at anong hindi dapat at anong nakakasama. One thing that I can tell you, war is never and will never be good for the Philippines in every possible way. So sana po ay tumatak yan sa utak natin. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. With that, we would like to ask the three speakers to give us their closing statement para maka-launch naman ng mga media friends natin. May question pa? Ay, sorry. May last question si Miss Badoy.
So,
Yes.
ang America is expansionist, it has shameless war policies. I mean, we all know
Yes.
that, di ba?
Yes.
America is just being America with this reclamation project making all those demands, di ba? So,
Selling arms.
hindi talaga problema yung Amerika. Ang problema ay ang gobyernong pumapayag sa ganon.
Yes.
Right? Yun ang, because our government can say no to this,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Am I
yes.
correct? SAS?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Why
So that's the
20+
problem in
project?
essence, right? It's not America because America is just being America.
Very good
Shameless,
question and
di ba?
comment. Can anyone add a short comment onto that? Why daw isang Why isang US Embassy complaint, 20 plus projects all suspended, all?
I would agree with
Tama.
Doc Lorraine, no? Tama. Kasi if you really look at America, sa history pa lang at sa lahat ng bansa na kung saan nagkaroon ng problema at until now is a mess. It's precisely because of them. You already know. Now ang tanong, bakit ang pumapayag ang gobyerno na diktahan ng Amerikano?
Yes.
At nagkandara pa pang isuspend, di ba? Ang tanong, what is it for them? Those people and those in government, what is it really for them? Why do they allow this to happen? Ayan ay hindi ko pwedeng sagutin kasi baka malibel ako.
Then they have to investigate pa. Then they have to have a round of investigation daw sa Senado.
Pero ang tanong kasi dyan,
Yes.
what is it for them, really?
Why?
Yun yung malaking tanong doon na
Why
kailangan
other than
sagutin.
any-
Pero
Yeah.
mahirap kasing sumagot ako on these terms right now. Hantayin natin, wala namang hindi nabubulgar kapag ang
Yes.
totoo ay lalabas. The truth will always come out and the truth will set us free.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now, we will request the three very brilliant. Alam mo, hindi ako nag-agree kay Ambassador. You are actually intellectually brilliant, the three of you. So, let us start with Ana ba? Ana? Yes. Each one of you, please give a closing statement to summarize your ideas about this topic and your appeal to the public. Do we start with Ms. Sas Rogando Sasot?
Okay.
Closing statement, yes.
Okay, obviously, all our attempts to understand the situation in all its aspects is being taken as a sign of being a traitor by those who think that patriotism should be based on hate rather than on what makes us truly Filipino, which is our ability to see things from others' perspective, which the word kapwa, there's no culture in the world that has the word kapwa or its equivalent. Okay? Kapwa is the self in others. That is the highest supreme Filipino value. Kapwa. Ngayon, in which ethical system in the world is it an act of treason to pursue understanding rather than to be swallowed by the hatred of the masses? Have we forgotten what Martin Luther King Jr. once taught the world when he received his Nobel Peace Prize in 1964? He said, "We must win our opponent's understanding rather than continue to humiliate the opponent. Because seeking to humiliate is to annihilate rather than convert." Have we forgotten what the Holy Bible said? Diba, we are a Christian nation. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Have we forgotten how the Prophet Muhammad and his followers made peace with the pagans of Mecca through negotiations and a treaty? To our Asian brothers and sisters, from the great old civilization China, let me tell you something about the national psyche of our very young country. Your people have a national identity that can be traced back thousands of years. Our identity is a product of Western colonization. We might be the only one in Asia who didn't defeat our colonizer. We did once, but the Declaration of Independence of 1898 was quickly stolen by the United States. So we are a deeply subjugated people. However, just like you, our Chinese brothers and sisters, we still have unhealed trauma from the past. We cope with this trauma. And I'm just gonna say this, we cope with this trauma by embracing the colonial masters who abused us for centuries because, unlike other Asians, we never went back to our roots but continued to live according to how we were colonized. Now, China, like your near sea, our seas, the sea surrounding the Philippines, had been a source of our vulnerability. with their warships, the West used the sea as the launchpad of their barbarism. We may have forgiven our colonizers, but we have never forgotten what it felt to be humiliated in our land through our seas. The sea we call the West Philippine Sea is the space where we seek the independence we never truly won in our history. The space where we could finally enjoy the euphoria of winning after struggling with a great power. Now, to Filipinos, what we feel about our sea is the same feeling China has over its near sea. It's a source of their vulnerability. It is through the weakness of their sea defenses that China experienced the same kind of humiliation we experience. But they experience worse than us, to be honest. Have we forgotten what our national hero Jose Rizal once said about China? Okay, this is what he said. China will consider herself fortunate if she succeeds in keeping herself intact and is not dismembered or partitioned among the European powers that are colonizing the continent of Asia. But China wasn't so fortunate. You know, China was partitioned by the West among themselves. Then Japan, later on, copied the Western powers. So, unlike us, China was simultaneously occupied by different Western powers. That's the truth of it, no? So while we got passed from one colonial master to another, China served several colonial masters at the same time. So kumbaga sa rape, na-rape lang tayo after ng isa, meron namang isa. So they were gang rape. You know, China was gang rape. So for China, it's South Sea. You know, that's what they call the South China Sea. The South Sea is a sea where it wants to be strong, just like us. So it could never be subjected to the same kind of humiliation. They want to be strong in the same way we want to be strong in the face of the treacherous waters of the sea of our vulnerability. But let us remember this. Our common sea isn't only waves of pain. Through its waters flow the long peace our peoples had with each other. China is not just another country to us. China is family. Our great hero Jose Rizal has Chinese ancestry. We share the same blood. Why should we throw away a millennia of peace in order to pursue goals that can be reconciled if you will just be patient enough? During the Spanish colonization, we were fooled by the Spaniards to kill the Chinese. So should we fall again to the spell of Americas, it's either you're with them or against us. So, to conclude, let me use what President Ramon Magsaysay once said. The Philippines, hindi niya so sinabi, I'm just reworking what he said. The Philippines, China, and the rest of our fellow Asians have a glorious pre-colonial past. Now, together, we must build a future worthy of that past. We Asians should never ever forget that the West came to our region not to bring peace, not to develop it, but to divide our lands and seas among themselves, to subjugate our ancestors, and to shamelessly plunder our continents of its riches, to bring material progress to Europe, while our people were maldeveloping and entrenched in deep poverty. We must not let them do this again. We know what they want from our region. They want the same things they wanted when they colonized every Asian country. And that is Asian resources. You know, the civilization of the Philippines and China have a long history of peaceful relations. We share the same pain of being humiliated by the Western powers. We both belong to Asia, and the South China Sea is our common heritage. Asian resources belong to Asians. No more dead Asians sacrificed at the altar of Western civilization. Asian peace is peace inspired by the wisdom of our ancestors and the fulfillment of our duty to the future generations of Asians. Asian peace can no longer be the peace of American guns and bombs and arrogance. Asian peace can no longer be the white man's burden. Asian peace shouldn't be the fallout of another mushroom cloud over Asian cities. It is only Asians that were victims to nuclear bombs, not white people, only Asians. Always remember that. They never dropped this to Nazi Germany. They dropped this to Asian cities. Asian peace is the civilization we lost, which we must reclaim together, patiently together, all under heaven, like the Chinese would say it, with the dignity of seeing each other as kapwa, like how we Filipinos see it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the intellectually brilliant and very eloquent Sasrogando Sasot. Thank you very much. Next, si Professor Ana Malindogoy for her closing statement.
Okay, let me read one part of the article that I wrote, no? The crux of the problem with our country is that we have unrealistic expectations from the United States and a colonial mind. We do have a colonial mind. That's something that we have to at least undo. Sabi nga ni Renato Constantino Sas, a true Filipino is a decolonized Filipino. It talks about the mind, you know. And likewise, this current administration, I'm sorry to say this, no, but this is my analysis, no. Likewise, this current administration is trying to take advantage of the rivalry between China and the United States to assert our maritime claims in the South China Sea. Unrealistically and unpragmatically. This is unrealistic and unpragmatic. Why? Because this strategy is bound to, is doomed and is bound to fail, misjudging the likely of an all-out military support from the United States. I don't think so. They will use us as a pawn and a proxy. And misjudging as well the strong and firm resolve of the Chinese people and its government to protect also what it claims and what it claims to be its territory. So may misjudgment doon. So wag padalos-dalos kasi baka magka-litsihan kawawa ang Pinoy dito. This is, I guess, something that our government officials in this current administration and President Marcos need to think through and probably ponder on before it's too late. But one thing is certain, all regional countries, including the Philippines, must safeguard peace and stability in the South China Sea. The world cannot afford another military crisis tantamount to a war on our side of the world. If peace and stability and security are to be sustained in the ASEAN and the wider Asia-Pacific region, Filipinos and Asians must take center stage in resisting the costly consequences of geopolitics, and that's war and conflict. In a war, there are no winners, only losers. In retrospect, the complication of the geopolitics are indeed costly for the Philippines. The Philippines cannot afford it. But the path toward economic development will benefit the Philippines and the Filipinos. The path to peace creates security and stability, and we achieve economic prosperity through peace and stability. That is a fact. Kahit saang mundo ka pumunta at kahit i-trace mo yung history ng buong mundo, peace is always a requirement. Stability is always a requirement when you want to have economic progress and, development. Hence, a peaceful, pragmatic, and diplomatic resolution to the South China Sea dispute through open-minded, respectful, and sincere dialogue and negotiation between the Philippines and China and other claimant states, no matter how difficult, is a must and the optimal solution to the South China Sea dispute. Trying to rely on the unreliable U.S. promises to resist or fight China over the disputed waters of the South China Sea will only backfire. is also counterproductive, dangerous for Philippines, and will aggravate the complexity and tension in the contested waters of the South China Sea. Mga kababayan, ano ba talaga ang gusto natin? Gusto ba natin ng economic development or gera? Kasi po, sa gulo at kahit political instability lang ng bansa, kawawa po ang ekonomiya natin. At sino po ba ang magugutom? Tayo-tayo lang din. Hindi po ako mayaman. Yung mayayaman po, baka umalis lang ng bansa kapag nagkakagulo dito. Pero yung mga tulad sa atin na ordinaryong tao, we need a very stable economy and we need a very stable politics. Kung hindi po, kawawa ho tayo. So, isipin po nating mabuti ang mga sitwasyon at wag lang yung emosyon ang gamitin. Mag-isip po tayo at maging rational actors po tayo. Maraming salamat po lalo na sa ating mga kaibigang media. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Professor Ana Malindog Uy.
Not more than
Next,
30
Mr. Herman Laurel.
seconds. Speaking of mayaman, I'll show you the photo of a very, very rich Filipino. Jos, can we flash it now? Ayan po, si Ginoong Manuel Pangilinan. Inalok noong 2014 sa China ang Spratlys. How many of you know that? That he believes he has the power to be the one to offer the Spratlys to China. This is one of the complications that we have not discussed, but it is really at the heart of the matter. And to a great degree, the control of media is in his hands, among other oligarchs. So I leave that as a thought for you to ponder.
Thank you once again to all our speakers. Hindi kayo intellectually deficient. You are all intellectually brilliant and honest. Thank you very much to all our speakers. Once again, Ms. Sas Orgando Sasot, thank you for the crash course on history and diplomacy. Very, very practical. Let us please share the thoughts niya. We have recording that we will share to everyone. Of course, to the nationalists, activists, and idealists, Mr. Herman Laurel. Thank you for your courage and your consistent principled stand on many issues. Last but not least, si Professor Ana Malindog Uy, passionate and also very enlightening. Thank you very much. By the way, ang ganda ng sinabi ninyo, alam mo, there was a professor that came here a few months ago. He was the one who coined the phrase West Philippine Sea, si Walden Bello. Pero hindi ko makalimutan, ang sabi niya dito, actually, South China Sea daw is actually an American lake. Sabi niya, kasi daw puno-puno ng American bases daw targeting our neighbor China. Kaya maganda sinabi ninyo, we should resolve this issue among ourselves, Philippines and China as neighbors and friends, not have a third-party country encourage any disagreement and problems. And kanina, si Sas Rogando Sasot, kinote niya ang Bible. Let us remember, sabi niya, blessed are the peacemakers, for we shall inherit the earth. Yata. May sinabi pang Bible, I want to quote, pag may taong gustong may gera o away-away o magtapon ng mga bato, itapon na lang natin pandesal. Symbol of peace. Once again, thank you to everyone. At saka may sinabi si Sas sa Facebook niya na hindi niya nasabi today. Nabasa ko, I learned a lot from reading Sas and Miss Padoy and Mr. Lola. Sabi mo, Sas, di ba na Japan and Taiwan in their territorial dispute over Jiaoyu Islands, they've been hosting each other water noon pa. Kasi friends sila eh. Ayaw nila na banggaan sa kagera. Kaya actually the use of water cannons, based sa sinabi ni Sas, tama ba yun? Sas, hindi siya nothing new. Hindi siya actually enemy action. It's actually trying to kaya thank you very much to our media friends. We have lunch to be served to everyone. And thank you to our brilliant speakers. And kanina to the Miss Dr. Henry Chan, all the way from Singapore. Thank you for all your ideas. And to the diplomat, Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao. Yes. Thank you very much to everyone. Let us continue this non-stop education and dialogue. Thank you very much.
May lunch.